Oh, okay, cool. So hi everyone. Uh, Nice to be here. I'm Emmanuel Bolariwan, Energy System Modeler at Open Energy Transition, and also a pipeset developer. So today we'll be having a panel session. And with us we have Lucas Tripp, we have Leo Schumm, and we have Yebo Akhmetov. I think I'm going to allow them to, maybe to introduce themselves in just one line. So, maybe Lucas, you can do a bit of introduction. Um, Hi, Lucas.
Yeah, I couldn't unmute. Yeah, here we
Oh,
are. Yeah, my name is Lucas. Thanks for having me, and I'm a research software engineer at TU Berlin and work mainly on all the like stuff framework stack, but also some of the model work.
yeah, thank you. I think Leon, you can go next. I think the unmute
Yeah,
button.
no, it
Oh,
works. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I'm Leon Schumm, group leader for Power-to-X and hydrogen at OTH Regensburg, but also doing my PhD at TU Berlin. I've been working with Pipes Earth for now, I think, more than 4 years, and I'm happy to be the member of the steering committee and looking forward to the discussion today. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Yebo, I think you can have you next.
Hello everyone, my name is Yerbol Akhmetov and I am an energy system modeler in OET, Open Energy Transition, and also I am a maintainer of Pipes Earth.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you all. Today we are going to be talking about why and how to contribute in open source project. The emphasis is I mean there's been a lot of myths around open source, how to contribute. So today we are going to be, just demystifying such those ideas, those ideologies. For the chats, I don't know if you're here just to, show of participation that you're here with us. So if you have ever experienced maybe bugs, or you've ever pushed a broken code to a main branch, probably during production, or you had some, some exciting moments while you're contributing. You could please share that in the chat. Yeah. Or you could even use an emoji. We're gonna get right straight into it. Um my first question would be so one of the issues is for most people, they don't know how to start, like how to contribute to projects or basically how to initiate the point. So I'm just going to be asking, like, how did each of you, you start contributing to open source projects? What helped you take that first step? So I'll be directing the questions, not to everybody, but I think Lucas and Yebo. So I think Lucas, you can go first. Oh, there's an unmute issue.
Yeah, I think you either has to pick me or make me co-host, one of both. But yeah, how to start contributing? I think in general, it always starts with you have a problem and you want to find a solution for that. And that is basically the case for any kind of code-based issue problem you have. Could be your thesis, could be anything. And the most easy way, more clear way to do that is basically build the code yourself. But that's a lot of work. And then you start reaching out, oh, what other people had similar issues already. And then most likely you will find some other repositories. And this is mainly how I find reasons to contribute because I try to find the most easiest way to solve my problem. And easy means sometimes it's not very clear how can I start to add or get this problem with another tool or add functionality to an existing tool, the base work, so I can start contributing there. But I think that's for me the always the best reason to start because yeah, you just want to solve a problem and somebody else most likely did some similar work already, so use their work, and if not, then you adjust the work so you contribute.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, but do you want to add something?
Yeah, this is actually similar for me. Like when you have a problem, you solve the problem, then you share like your experience with it. And for my case, it was like I have started contributing to, for example, pipes of Earth, like when I have started a energy system modeling for the Kazakhstan project. So yeah, during that period, I was like facing a need for some new features, small bugs. And at that time, Max and Marta was supervising me, and then like they actually like pushed me or invited me to contribute my local changes actually to upstream. And like this way I was, yeah, the community was supportive actually in that case, like providing feedbacks and also like they are very open to propose changes. Then this way I actually like started to contribute.
Nice. I think I like that. The ideas, how you started, you had a thesis. I think Lucas also mentioned the thesis part. I mean, there's a problem, there's something, and you just have to go ahead. Little bugs, you try to take the initiative to fix it. Yeah, I think I like that. So now this, I mean, the journey of starting, you also already started contributing, like you've taken the first step. But there has to be something that motivates you to keep contributing, right? So, what are things that keep motivated you to keep contributing? I mean, what part of the project culture made you stay and want to be a contributor? I'm going to give the question to Yebo and Leon. So Yebo can go first since they just finished.
Yeah, like generally what motivates me to keep contributing is actually I am actually always constantly exposed to new modeling challenges, like new projects, and each project uh, has like different challenges and different features that needs to be implemented. And of course, when you did it, like you always want to share like your experience. Yeah. So maybe it can be new functionality or new type of data handling or flexibilities. So when I see these kind of gaps, like why not to contribute? Why not to improve? So it's kind of like, yeah, natural thing for me. Yeah, please, maybe Leon.
Yeah, thank you, Yervil and Emmanuel. Yeah, so basically, what motivates me and what keeps me staying, I think I always kept saying I came for the energy transition and I stayed for the people. And I think this is still very much relevant. So initially, I came to Pipes to Earth because I want to contribute to the energy transition and, of course, pursue my research there. But I think the main motivation still is that you have the feeling that you're part of something bigger. It's not just you're changing a line of code, but you're actually changing the model and have serious impact on the energy transition worldwide. And I feel like with every commit you do or every pull request, this will be a change which has impact on so many modelers worldwide, like international, which gives a just a feeling of yeah, impact and that you can actually change something. And yeah, I mean, the project culture or the people I met during my years here is just amazing. Like the amount of support you get, especially in the beginning, and yeah, the open discussions, and it's just always a really positive attitude. And this is what really, yeah, made me stay. And I hope this will be continuing for a long time.
Yeah, I think for me the key takeaway there was being part of something bigger, like being part of something that is changing, and the project culture, yeah. I mean, the people there, they seems to be so welcoming. Yeah, cool. So, I mean, these are all really nice things. But there's some parts that we need to also discuss, and those are like the challenges. So basically, I'm so at some point during your journey, you must have faced some challenges, or concerns that people face, right? That they are currently contributing. And maybe you could also add how communities can help to lower this barrier, because this is not just, pertaining to just pipes. It also contribute just sends out to other open source tools out there. So Leon can go first, and then Lucas can go next.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first of all, I think it's also important, as you mentioned, to address the issues, like why are people sometimes refraining from contributing? At least from my point of view, is like how I experience and how I still see it in conversation with other people, that you feel like you don't know enough to really be a contributor. And I think in the beginning, Pipes to Earth or Pipes to Distribution or many other work streams we have, they seem like very sophisticated, fancy, huge models, which of course in part they are. But I think it gives you the feeling that it might be too big and you don't have the experience yet. That's at least also how I felt in the beginning. So this is one of the challenges. But I think we can also overcome this with, for example, mentoring or like buddy programs, or basically talking to people who are already a contributor or have been involved for quite a while. And also, like personally, I try to motivate people haven't contributed yet to just set up their first pull request. And I think it's always nice to do it in the beginning together. Just show them, okay, this is where you press a button, and this it's what's important. And then in the end, it's not a big deal. But I can feel really in the beginning, it seems to be so huge, but in the end, it isn't. But I think that's the challenge of us, the whole community, to yeah, move everyone from the step, okay, oh, this huge model, but every contribution counts.
Yeah, thank you. Tripp, Lucas?
And I full on agree with what Leon said, because I think many people are following open source project for a while, but never or always wanted to contribute or never do. And it's the first contact, the first PR, the first interaction in Discord, the first whatever is, I think, the biggest barrier. And once people did that, because then you kind of start growing in whatever you can do there. But on the developer side, I full on understand that it sometimes can be quite hard to dive into repository. And if you haven't used the tool yet, you want to, yeah, it's hard to understand everything and find good reasons to contribute. But you can always boil down problems. So if it's just fixes in the docs, if it's just the first issues you can find in each on GitHub, if it's something you played with, you don't have to understand the full code base to contribute. You can just fix small little things, and most likely for many things, people will be very grateful, and there is no reason why this wasn't fixed before. It's just a time issue. And especially in those pipes.x repositories where you have many, many scripts, you don't have to understand all scripts to just add another function to a specific one. So sometimes it's helpful, but you can always start. So don't be shy in, oh, I don't understand anything. I think there are not many people who basically understand the full project, even those who are contributing a lot. And this is still the case and probably will never be the case.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, the key takeaway there was like little contribution. Doesn't matter where it is, in the docs. And also, I remember the body program. Yeah, I had a buddy that was very kind to me and, always helping me. So I think that's really very, very encouraging. Just to our followers, if you have any question, please use the link below. You can see the QR code to scan and input your questions. So we're taking questions in a few minutes from now. Um the so I mean, we've looked at the challenges that people face, but for open source projects, there's this thing, I don't know how to say it, but how can we, make create an environment, right, that fosters that makes all the contributors from different backgrounds contribute like they want to contribute, and not, have biases against this from different background and all of those, basically making underrepresented groups feel welcome to contribute. I think I'm going to direct question to Leon.
Yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. So yeah, how to make underrepresented groups welcome. I think first of all, I'm not in the best position to really speak for underrepresented groups, but at least I can share my experience from previous years or what I've seen in communities. I think first of all, what's really important also from a high level perspective is why this diversity also matters. And it mainly improves innovation and user responsiveness and in overall the work environment. So I think it needs to be in everyone's head that including underrepresented groups and really encouraging more is important and beneficial for everyone. And yeah, how to do it in detail. As I mentioned, I'm unfortunately not an expert, but of course, we were trying different things. I think one of the most important things is to actively engage with people from different backgrounds and really motivate them, even though they have maybe not the experience as other people are, but they bring in very different qualities, and I think this benefits everyone. Yeah, so this is one thing to really actively bring in people from all kinds of backgrounds or regions or yeah, so basically the full diversity. And I think one also probably important thing is the moderation that not just here, for example, in this Pipes Earth Lab round, but also in the weekly meetings or monthly meetings that we also make sure that everyone has the opportunity to speak up and doesn't feel like run over, but really feels like welcome and included. Yeah, I think this is, at least from my limited point of view, some important things, but potentially others can even add more things, or we're always happy for some feedback on this.
Yeah, cool. I think I'm just gonna add one more thing because I think having maybe like a note somewhere in the README that welcome developers or contributors from different backgrounds, because I've seen things, messages or notes like that makes everyone feel welcome, like, oh, okay, there's no discrimination here. I think I can go in right and contribute. So I think things like that will also work. So yeah, thank you. Um so basically, we've looked at this now. So considering contributions, right? How do you think how do you propose that new contributors, newcomers go about, making contributions, especially small non-code? How do you advise newcomers? Or how can they identify where to begin their contributions? I think Lucas, Yebo could, give some insights on this.
Yeah, the list on how you can contribute is basically very large. So if you are a developer, of course, you have all the issues and you can dive into code, understand code, and try to work out things there. But it's not just developing things, it's also documentation, it's rewriting things, it's moderation, it's sometimes code review, sometimes just reacting to people. Oh, at some point we will get back to you. It's in Discord reacting on people. It's in Discord. We have a support channel. I mean, you can't answer all questions, but you can pinpoint people to other questions who might have been asked already. There are other initiatives. There's, for example, the Map Your Grid initiative, which is basically just mapping grid data to OSM. And this is, yeah, not simple work, but everybody can basically start learning that and do it. So the list of things is quite wide. And if you are not sure what you could do, always just join Discord. I think the issue is less, oh, what can you do? It's more, what do you want to do? And there should be a motivation behind it. And it's easiest because you like what you're doing. And the first time contact. So because in the beginning, since there are many other things, it's also a bit of overwhelming. But at the end, it's in best case you just start doing anything, and then the rest falls over you, which is a good and a bad thing. So
Yeah. Um, Yebo?
Yeah, thank you, Lucas. I totally agree with you. Like any contributions are valid and helpful. Even the small ones, like not code related, like documentation things, are very like important, especially for newcomers. Like I remember, like when I did Kazakhstan project after several code related contributions, I remember I jumped into the making contribution in the documentation. Like it was back 2 years ago, but it is like it seems like it was just now, was now. I remember like I fixed revised the installation part and tutorial pages. At that time, I had like different vision, and of course, like especially for newcomers, like when you look into the documentation, you might look into that one with a fresh eye and see the maybe shortcomings where it needs like more explanation or something like this. Yeah, this is, I think, it will be quite easy to like contribute. I mean, yeah, and also,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I think like documentation is a good start.
Yeah, yeah, I think I like the documentation part because it's easier for even with people that with developers. Writing documentation actually can be boring, I understand, but it could be a great way to start. And I think the meat is that or what people don't know is that not every project is perfect. So there's always some
Mhm.
imperfections, and definitely you would find them. So, I mean, I just had this idea that, oh, I could even contribute a doc strings to a function that doesn't have a doc string, right? And that takes me trying to understand these little things. So, yeah,
Mhm.
that's really cool. Um,
Please, yeah,
To
Lucas.
To add there, maybe, I mean, you can find a list of things you can do to contribute, but it's also always just helpful to think what you are already doing with, oh, is there a way to bring this in a contribution way as well? Because
Mhm.
as we discussed already, you most likely have a problem and then you find a solution. And one way is sit in your corner and write all the code yourself, which is a lot of work, but a clear pathway. Or you dive into existing open source projects and find out, oh, can they actually help me? And if they can, then it's most likely also just more efficient to solve your problem. And I think this is also something to encourage that because then you're doing something what you're already doing. And you can just think that up, oh, is it maybe valid to spend a bit of extra time for the potential of having a more efficient and more robust solution? So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And also, I think like not only like the contribution, but as a PR, but also reporting the issues, like with reproducing the results, is quite important, and we can consider it like also a significant contribution. That yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
bug reports for all the poor developers fixing those. Just adding them and not ignoring if something is not working and just checking if there's a bug on that already. And often there's not.
Yeah, I think I like the bug report. So it's very, very intuitive. Okay, so in terms of insensitive or community practice, basically, so like recognition, mentorship, governance opportunity. So what's insensitive, what community practice can sustain contributors motivation without creating, exclusivity, without excluding people, without, hierarchies. So basically just trying to, some management strategies. I think Leon can go, then Lucas would go next.
Yeah, thank you, Manuel. So on the first point, what incentivizes to be a contributor or what incentivizes to keep contributing? One possibility is recognition, so that we really thank contributors in release notes, social media, in contribution lists on the Pipesa Earth website. So there are many opportunities to do so, and I think this is highly, highly important. But at the same time, as you mentioned, it needs to be addressed that it's not an exclusive club of contributors who always get the recognition. But it's basically, I think everyone who uses anything of the Pipesa community is contributing in some way. So, for example, as you just mentioned, Lucas, the bug reports, I mean, you don't have to be an actual code contributor. You can also report a bug, and this is super, super valuable. So we need to make sure that every kind of contribution, not just code contribution, but also like outreach and everything is super, super important. And yeah, we need to really account for that. And Second, what we're really concretely doing about this, so in Pipes meets Earth, we recently have like a governance structure where you can, in a transparent way, see, okay, who can become a contributor or in which way can you contribute, which is not just code related. So we have to be really transparent about this and not just saying, okay, our code is open and everything is transparent, but also our structure is. And yeah, I think this transparency really helps in incentivizing, but also not just having an exclusive club of contributors.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, recognition is always one thing. You often see this list of contributors in the README of many open source projects, which is just listing all people who ever contributed to a PR, but it's hard to measure that because then you're missing out bug reports or just activity in the community. On pipes.org, we have a similar page which just lists all PRs and all issues you ever created. But I mean, it's giving the contribution to people who actually contributed code, but we can't pay you or we can't give you big incentives to do so. It at the end it must come from some form of motivation to be part of a community, to solve your problem, to have high impact. And that at the end can basically be anything. And there you need to find, hey, what is cool? You can do those gamification things, or you're on a list, or your GitHub activity is green. You can do this, or now I pushed a small fix, and many people of that user of that project are using this now. So there are many ways why you could be motivated, and I think everybody needs to find their own. Because I also know people who do not want to have this recognition, do not want to be listed somewhere and yeah, get a shout out on social media or something. So this is always very flexible, and yeah, everybody can get this like motivation, yeah, that they want and match to. And we are
Yeah.
very flexible on all those kinds.
Yeah. I mean, talking about contributing, there's usually, so this is just like a note to everybody. Most open source projects usually have a contributing markdown file. So I think it's always advisable to go through it, but I don't think everybody does that. I don't think,
Uh,
'cause for me, I never did until like way later. I think those are helpful things too. All right. So I think we've come to the end of like the first part. So we I think we can now start taking questions from users. So I don't know if we can get the link, the Slido link page, so we can see if we have any questions for panelists. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we have a few questions. First question, is there a Pipesa Indian community in place to exchange the country specific issues? Um, yeah, but do you want to answer? Or does anyone want to answer the question?
I'm not quite sure, like, actually, if I met such people. Maybe if you can contact me directly. I know Sirmisha, for example, she works in open energy transition. She's from India. She was doing like some studies in the for India, like energy modeling. But other than that, I don't know like persons. Yeah. I can ask her so that maybe she can share if she knows other people. Yeah.
I think I also recently read about Pipesa India, which was some fork of Earth and some papers. Okay, Leon is already maybe knowing more. I don't know. Okay, it doesn't. But on those things, always just reach out in Discord because we don't know everyone. But in Discord, you can also just announce, hey, here, I'm interested in this kind of topics. And in best case, people will get back to you who worked on those things.
Yeah, please, you can just reach out on Discord and how you can have more information about that. What are your thoughts on the various energy system modeling models available? Why haven't researchers converged on a single one? Is Pfizer on that part? I think these are like multiple questions, but I think I can direct it to Leon.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. I think we can discuss for hours about this. But I think what I maybe want to highlight here is first of all, okay, there are a ton of energy system models out there. Without going too much into detail into every single one, I think there are two main reasons why there are so many out there. So one of them is there are different institutions, different research questions, different organizations which just want to do their own thing. They want to have their own tool, they want to have all the knowledge in-house, and they don't want to share. This is one reason. And I think the second reason is that there are really different research questions and different scopes. So, for example, Pipes to Earth, I mean, it has the global coverage, but there might be also energy system models which have a detailed look on, let's say, distribution level, something we're also more and more looking into, or energy system modeling, which are going in a time resolution sub minutes and actually have a look on the electricity part more in detail. Um, and then maybe other energy system models, which are, yeah, closely related to integrated assessment models. So there are actually valuable reasons why there are different ones. And this is maybe also the reason why researchers haven't converged on a single one, because on the institution-wide thing, I must say, okay, we can agree on one. I'm not necessarily saying this is Pipes of Earth, but definitely I think institution-wide, you shouldn't do your own model when you have the same available open source. But for the second reason, for different purposes, yes, we need different models. So in conclusion, I'm sure we can't converge to one single one, and I'm sure PIPESA or Pipes to Earth or Pipes to Europe is not on the path to avoid all energy system models, but to at least reduce the number of redundant models.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think we could just go straight to the next question. So, what features of Pipesa attract users, and what challenges do you think they face when starting to use it that make them, in quotes, run away? I think Lucas, I think you can share more here.
Uh, yeah, I mean, depends on who you ask and how much pain they already know. But pipes are out of the box if you build the or you just use the framework, works quite good and quite stable these days with comparable to other Python libraries. But if you start to use the workflows, you have to hustle with environments and use snake make, and then everything is also sometimes less tested, and then you adjust the config. You do not really know, oh, what are the reasons why I can't use this specific config. So there is a lot of friction still with using those models. And then first time user tries something and it doesn't work out of the box, even if it's simple. And then people get or flee or run away, how you said. And I think this is something we are already improving and want to improve further, especially for all those model implementations, so that the first stable one should be less a friction point. Also with all the environment handling on, it should work on any environment you might use. This is one point. And then what we of course also often hear is then there is no GUI. And I mean, not many or nearly none other open source models have a GUI. But this is something, if people start with, oh, switch from Plexos or any other commercial tool, then their friction point is often, hey, we don't have a GUI. I don't want to run code. I don't want to hustle all the terminal commands. And this is also one thing. What open source work can solve, it just has to be kicked off to start some developing there. But those are, yeah, often reasons. On the GUI is not that soon, but reducing the first time user friction, which still exists, is getting better. And then, yeah, now I
Yeah, yeah.
stop here.
All right then. So is there any possibility for a research contributor to get some assistance in publishing his results using Pipesa? Yeah, Bo, maybe you can add something here.
Yeah, I think what is important here, if you're doing some research, using the pipesa and you want to publish, maybe if you have some questions or anything, the first thing it is like it would be good to uh, go to the support channel if you have questions. There you can share your I don't know, results, questions, your doubts. Also, I would recommend we have like weekly pipesa Earth meeting, and there you can share your experience, questions, and we have a lot of people who actually join, who are doing their PhDs and publishing their papers. They have some questions in the discussion, and it is a good place to start to communicate with Pipes community, I think. Maybe yeah.
Yes, I think I've seen many instances of people joining where they're currently doing research with it. So, yeah. So yes, you can get there are ways you could get assistance. So to the next question, is there a Java Pipes of Japan community? Lucas.
There is a Pipes Japan model. I think I'm community, I'm not sure, but you can for sure reach out to the people who developed the Pipes Japan model. In general, all those model questions, the big ones, and maybe not recently published, who exist already, they are all listed in the official Pipes.org, docs.pipes.org documentation. So there we have a model section where you can just check which models already exist. Sometimes we have multiple models per region. Sometimes there is just one. Sometimes there's none. Sometimes it's a large project based on Earth. Sometimes it's something small and a single paper. So you can just dive in there. But finding communities is most likely always based on some public repository and a linked paper to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
So
Lucas.
yeah. Yeah. So to the next question. So would you recommend Pipesa for PhD level research where fine-tuning of the objective function or constraints is required, or would Pipesa be more suitable? I'm not sure, but I think maybe Leon, Lucas could shed more light.
Yeah, happy to do so. So I think in general for PhD level, it's very well suited, both Pipesa and Pipesa Earth. Whether to use Pipesa, the framework, or Pipesa Earth, the model, I think it highly depends on your research question. So for example, if you're looking at a certain country like Morocco or China, then Pipesa Earth or something similar is highly recommended because you have all the data and all the workflow already prepared. So that's an excellent starting point. If you're looking in something more granular, so for example, a very specific model like modeling solar irradiation and battery, which you can just build quickly yourself, then you can go for Pipesa framework. Yes, so I think it really depends on the research question, but concretely, I think we can help you out if you either just ask in Discord, like this is my idea, would you recommend Pipes or Pipes Earth? Or you could ask it here in the chat or even come to the monthly meeting this afternoon. I think there we can quickly clarify what the best model or best approach would be and also give you some hints on how to start. Yeah, I don't know, Lucas, do you have something to add on this one?
I mean, it fully depends on the research question. In general, Pipesa is the framework and doesn't come with any data. And if you want to use Pipesa Earth, you don't have to use it to build the model as well. You can also just use the data pipeline from Pipesa Earth and Pipesa UR. So, because building a model from scratch in Pipesa requires tons of work because you have to add everything yourself and nothing is processed. And so you can always make a mix out of both. But yeah, just using Pipesa normally requires more work. And Earth and UR and all those models will bring you some form of Pipesa network. And wherever you want to adjust the process, you can just dive in.
Well, I've just seen that Emmanuel is muted, but maybe Daniela can unmute him.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, I can, but yeah, I don't know why it happened.
Yeah, sorry. So, Yeah, so it all depends on the research question. But I have a question of my own before we wrap up. I know we are at the tail end. So as so at some point in your coding, your contributions, I mean contributing to open source, you must have made, something like a mistake or something like an highlight. So I just wanted to give us an highlight of like something embarrassing, like an embarrassing mistake that you did when you were starting out. Probably you pushed the wrong code or your code broke broke the workflow, messed up things, and how was it handled? So I think we can start from Yebo.
Yeah, okay. In my case, nothing significant happened. I remember I created one PR that was like reviewed and it was merged after that, but I saw that it is breaking the CI, I think. Yeah, somehow. But previously it was checked, it was fine, but maybe not CI, but the workflow was broken, but CI was not actually capturing it. So yeah, after that one, I created another PR actually to fix that one. Yeah, yeah, nothing serious, I would say.
Lucas?
I mean, these days the CI and all the testing is quite strict, so most things should be catched. So it can't really release something which will break everything for everyone. But we for Pipester 1.0 we did this very large backend overhaul where we basically rewrote everything to adjust for stochastic optimization. And I mean, even if you have still those tests, you are never sure that there is no new bug. And we catched many old ones and fixed them, but we even after the release, and we did a pre-release with testing so everybody could use it before we do the official release. I was never sure that things will work out for everyone and nothing serious will be pushed. But so far it worked fine. So we are 2 months in, or 1 month now, and everything is still alive. But that was quite stressful, I have to say, because yeah, I mean, even with good testing, you can't be too sure. You will always find bugs which you didn't expect there to be, and it's always surprising.
Yeah, I think Emmanuel is still muted, but I'll just continue here. Excellent question. I think you all caught us off guard, and that's a very good one. Um, what I can report is from Pipes to Earth Sec. So we've been developing Pipes to Earth Sec for 2 years. It was Hazem and me mainly leading this effort. But also thanks to Pipes Europe, we got a lot of input there. However, at one point we wanted to merge Pipes to Earth Sec into Pipes to Earth, which basically worked fine. However, there were some issues where we almost lost all the Git history on the Pipes to Earth sec effort that has been done so far. Yeah, but I think this is also a chance to highlight the community because thanks to 2 or 3 absolute Git experts, we managed to fix this in the end. So I think even if those high level or big issues appear within this 1,000 people in the community, there might be at least one person who helps you. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for, having this session. I'm sure you all gained something, one or two. Um, so I think we've come to the end of the panel session, and thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Yebo. It was nice having you share one or two things to help contributors and every other person in the community.